You said talking about money will lose the romance.
Yeah, it'll run the room.
Depends on how you talk about it.
Okay, so
More millions, more money.
So let's talk about this.
Better mood.
So where do you think this myth came from? Where do you think this money myth came from?
Me. And my trauma. Like, we don't have money. We don't have money. We don't have. Why do we meet to talk about us not having money? I already know that. Let's move on.
All right, guys, here we go. Another episode of Matrimony and Money with Sherman and Cristina. Guys, this week we're super excited because we're going to have a very sort of, I don't want to say practical episode, but we're going to talk about some money myths, right? And it is going to change your marriage if you apply it, right? Because if I'm being honest, if you believe any of these 5 money myths that we're going to talk about, your marriage is already at a disadvantage. So let's fix it. Let's sort of jump into it. Well, first of all, if you're on YouTube, you see me with my glasses on. These are Meta glasses. I don't know how to use them for the pod yet, but I'm wearing them because I'm excited about my Meta glasses. But we're taking them back tomorrow to exchange them, but I'm excited.
Exchange them for a different color lens.
Or
frame.
So if you're watching it on YouTube, leave me a comment.
It looks so good.
Let me know if you like it. And guys, here's something we have to do a much better job at. If you're listening to the podcast, whether Apple, YouTube, subscribe. You guys know how important that is. We're starting to get into the game. I see why now everyone says hit that subscribe button. So I'm telling you, hit that subscribe button. Apple, YouTube, Spotify, whatever. That helps us stay on air.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. So let's seriously, let's jump into it. So let's talk about money myth number 1. Money myth number 1 is, if we make more money, that'll fix the problem.
No.
No.
Oh, it's a myth.
Yes,
it's a lie.
Correct.
That's a lie.
Correct. Tell me this. So like, what do you think this came from? Like, what do you think this came from?
Because I feel like people have money problems, like broken down cars, kids going off to college, and what solves it?
More money.
More money, right? So practically, yes, but no, because it just depends on how disciplined you are with your money, whether that could be a true statement or not. But not money alone would fix that. It's behavior. Yeah. It's how you think about money, how you look at money, how you deal with money. So not just the money alone solves the problem, but I guess your attitude towards how you handle it, how you deal with it.
Okay, so, and for me, I believe that couples really started believing this because it just makes you feel better, right? If I'm being honest, I think it's sort of just a internal thing, because it's easy to say, well, if I make more money, or when I make more money, this problem will magically go away. And so I think that's really where it started. But the damage that it does is, to me, it doesn't, because most of the time when you say, oh, well, when this happened, then I'll do that. Well, you're not going to fix that behavior, because it's going to be some arbitrary date down the road that when it happens, then we know that it'll never happen.
Right.
So for me, money myth number 1 is a big one, right? More money.
I feel like it's a yes and a no. I think we just look at problems as not dependent upon one thing.
Yeah.
Like if you fix, okay, my child goes to college, but if money solves that, but then what other issues trickle down from that? If my heart doesn't change towards money. That's why the Bible says the root of evil is the love of money. It's not really money. Money doesn't fix or do anything. It's our attitudes towards it. So yes, I mean, it could solve a lot of problems, but it doesn't solve all problems. And most of the time it creates newer problems.
Like the famous philosopher said, more money, more problems.
And who was that?
Diddy. So,
he's terrible. Oh Lord.
Let he that without sin cast the first stone.
I know, but I just don't want to be quoting.
Well, I'm just saying the famous philosopher.
Yeah, we're not famous.
More money, more
what
problems.
Philosophies? Yeah, I guess bad ones.
So here's the thing that I would challenge you guys, if you sort of believe this, financially strong couples, I believe what they do, you know, they like get on a budget. They figure out a plan and figure out ways to make it happen sort of now, right? And again, budgeting matters, right? I love a zero-based budget. If you don't know what a zero-based budget is, it's fine. We'll drop something in the show notes, or you just simply Google what is a zero-based budget. But also increasing your income, right? Those are two things that you could do that will definitely help you fix some of those problems. But for me,
But isn't that more money?
correct. No. But I was going to say though, for me, the bigger thing is you need to get on a budget, because if you're at a deficit, you need to see
your habits,
where it is, where
your attitude, your
because a lot of people that say, "Oh,
viewpoints
like
on money.
you know, money's tight," and then if you really broke down their budget, you'll see they're eating out twice a week.
Yeah.
spending-
It's like that girl math meme that everybody makes fun of us about. Like, we're saving $350 on this purse, but you're also spending $400, right? You're not really saving anything. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Same concept.
So that's money myth number one, right? If you make more money, solve your problem. That's
Not necessarily true.
all right. So let's talk about number two. I like this one because this is going to be a good one. Talking about money sort of ruins the romance.
True.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
True.
not.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing.
Again, depends on the
Correct.
perspective.
I'm about to say, let's get some clarity on this in all seriousness.
Like, okay. If you tell me we're bajillionaires overnight, not ruining the romance.
No.
Not ruining it.
So,
We can do whatever you want. Yeah.
but I was going to say, seriously though, like, you know, so like you guys know us, Christina's more of a, you know, sort of, I don't really want to deal with it too tough. I don't want to talk about it every day. I'm more like, let's look at this. Let's see how much it's grown this week. But I think that it can ruin the mood if you don't have set specific times that you're going to have these sort of business meetings, right? We call them money meetings, right? So yes, it can ruin the mood, but it is
If
not
you get your heart right, if you have the
correct.
expectation.
Like, it's not a single just, oh, we can't talk about money. It's going to put me in a bad mood. Cause you're going
I
to,
just feel like we
You have to
can
talk
talk
about
about money. So that is a myth. We can't talk about money if it's all positive. Like, honey, we have an extra 10 grand this month for you to spend. We can take another vacation this year. Like, that's the kind of money meetings I like.
$10,000 per month.
Yeah.
You time that out by the year, it's an extra $120,000 per year. Most people don't even make that in a year.
What's
You're
the
saying
problem?
an extra 10 grand.
I'm
for
just
you to
saying,
blow.
if that was the conversation we were having, it would not ruin my mood.
Okay, so money myth number two.
You said talking about money will lose the romance.
Yeah, it'll run the room.
Depends on how you talk about it.
Okay, so
More millions, more money,
let's talk about this.
better mood.
So where do you think this myth came from? Where do you think this money myth came from?
Me? And my trauma is like, we don't have money. Why do we meet to talk about us not having money? I already know that. Let's move on. I like to live in denial.
Yes,
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need a psychologist.
seems that way. So
That's okay.
okay, so tell me this. So
No,
where does money
perfect.
myth
I'm
come
not
from?
perfect.
Where do you think this money myth came from? I want to know what you seriously think.
I really don't know, honey. Can you educate me?
No, I believe.
No, I think the glasses make you a lot smarter, so I'm just gonna dumb myself down.
Okay. Another Professor Sherman. Smart. No, but I really do believe that this myth sort of started because one of the people in a relationship doesn't really want to talk about money. So they'll just say, hey, this is going to put me in a bad mood. Then the other person doesn't want to, you don't want to make your spouse.
You don't want to rock the boat.
Correct. So then you just don't talk about it. Like, well, we can't talk about it because, take him out of the mood. I don't want to ruin it. But
You definitely don't want
not
to
at
take
the
me out of
marriage house. We're talking
He
about
doesn't
money.
want to take me out of the mood.
We're talking about money. We have to talk about it. We have to figure this thing out.
Well, if I get a headache, then don't say nothing.
We have money. We can buy some Excedrin. So if you get
Or we don't have money and you just have to suffer. See how this money conversation goes? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
So, but let's talk about this though. Let's talk about the real damage that happens when you don't ever talk about it, right? Let's just say one part's like, I don't want to talk about it, ruin it. Now let's talk about the real damage then.
Yes, that's a bad thing.
Mm.
It is a bad thing to be in denial. I'm not saying I'm right. I just said I'm not perfect.
Okay, so
I'm not right.
okay,
about
so the
everything.
real damage is it's just gonna.
I mean, I'm right about most things, but not everything.
It's sort of gonna pile up,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have a big issue, right?
Yeah.
I sort of equate it to, you know, us really getting serious to pay off the $203,000. It's not that we didn't talk about, because we talked about it some,
Yeah.
but I just wasn't ready to totally dive in and look at every interest rate, every amount until I was. And when I did, I was just, we talk about it all the time. Man, I wish we would have done that so many years earlier, like so many years earlier. So, the damage can be you just kicking this can down the road, holding up your wealth building, because regardless of where you are, guys, like today, you can build some wealth. Now, I want to be crystal clear, because I'm not one of those people say, oh, everyone's gonna, make millions of dollars and have all this money when you retire. Well, if you start early enough, that's definitely possible, but everyone can retire, but you have to have a plan, and it does require sacrifice, right? So if you're starting later, well, you got to start sacrificing now, start putting more money away. For us personally, we try to put enough money away that sort of makes us uncomfortable, and we can still do some things, because I know that 20 years down the road, 25 years down the road, I do not want to depend on Uncle Sam. Nothing against the government, but I don't want them having to feed me.
No. And there's nothing against people that go through stuff that requires that from time to time. All of us have been through hard times at one point or another. So, but yeah, I agree.
So
that should be the goal. That should be your mindset. That should be what you're preparing for.
So this money myth, talking about money will ruin the romance. Here's what that strong couples do. They set aside times and dates to have money dates, right? Obviously, you can go to our website, matrimonymoney.com. We have a date guide. It's free. And you guys can really talk about this and figure it out. The hardest thing is doing it the first time. And you have to do it regardless of how it feels, because it is going to change. It's going to make everything better, right? Like if we seriously didn't talk about our money and getting our finances in order and building wealth, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. We wouldn't have been able to do some of the things that we've been able to do, some of the vacations.
Some of the conversations were short. It wasn't long meetings. It was just like, this is what it is. All right, just,
Yep. All right, so let's move on to money myth number 3. Now, this is one that I heard growing up a ton. And I think people still say it now. Well, as long as the bills are paid, everything's okay.
No, because there's other things besides. He didn't prep me on any of these, by the way. I don't know. I like it.
I hate it.
I like that lie. I like it.
I hate it. As long as
bills are paid.
To me, we say as long as the bills are paid,
everything's okay.
That's just that's such a low barrier.
I know, but what if you don't have a deep well?
Well, you have to, that's the thing, you have to figure it out. You got to look at ways, again.
I know, but if the bills are paid, I know, it sucked when we would pay all the bills and have dollars left.
Correct. And
so that's why.
To me, that's not okay to live in that constant
state I was agreeing with you with the well.
Lack, slack, and not enough. I don't want to live in lack, slack, and not enough.
Sure.
I do not want to live like that. I don't want anyone to live like that. Again, but I believe that piece of this comes down to, you have to be willing to sacrifice, at least in the short term, so that you can get what you want long term. And, I just believe money and just, being out and around really makes it hard, because you do have to have a very strong personality to tell your friends, your family, hey, we can't do this because we can't afford it, right? Sort of hurts your pride and stuff like that, but...
Or just say no.
I would just say no.
We always say
I
no.
won't explain myself.
Can't make it.
But I know some people, they want to tell them why they don't want to be upset, but just simply tell them you can't afford it. 9 times out of 10, when you tell someone you can't afford something, they're not going to say much, right? So as long as the bills are paid, and I believe that really comes from just a poverty mindset. It's just a poverty mindset. I grew up sort of in poverty. My people work hard, working double shifts and all of that stuff. And they were just trying to pay the bills, right? There was There was never any talk
Paycheck to
about
paycheck.
Yeah, there was never any talk about generational wealth and, hey, when I leave here, I'm gonna leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. It was like, hey, we're trying to do the best we can now.
Just trying to make it.
Correct. And there's nothing. Well, there's something wrong with that, but they were doing the best they absolutely could
with the circumstances
So
they had.
that's why now when I hear it, I'm just like, no, like don't fall
Let's
for
find
that.
a way out of that.
Correct. Let's find a way out of that, because someone has to be sort of the generational curse breaker, right? Because these generational curses, they're just, they're just patterns that happen because we grow up, we see them, and then we just sort of do them whether we want to or not.
And I think money spending habits have a lot to do with that. Like, for instance, if you don't make enough, or just barely enough to make ends meet, what are your habits? What do they look like? And we can take it back to a spiritual thing where, are you tithing? Are you offering it? If you believe that, I believe the Bible's true. What is holding up your increase? And that's a good question to kind of write out the budget. That's why it's so important to see everything written down on paper. Where is each dollar going? And do these dollars need to go to those things? That's what we did over and over.
Zero-based budget.
That's what we did over and over and over again. We would, we spent, $50 on just frivolous spending at the dollar store or whatever, just on snacks and whatever, going to, practices or whatnot. We should have planned better for that. We could have done BOGO for Gatorades instead of going every 5 seconds to the store. So, yes, I believe that you should do the budget, that you should really weigh out why, if there is opportunity to work 2 or more jobs or have a side hustle, or what are your talents? Like what I think you're saying is there's got to be a better way than just slack and not enough.
Correct.
And because sometimes we just don't have high earning jobs.
Yeah,
For instance, I used to work three jobs at once just because we didn't have enough. And I wasn't beneath that, and I'm still not beneath that. But I think it's imperative to write out every dollar.
Yeah, but I want to be crystal
because
clear.
most of the time we spend stuff on what we shouldn't be spending on.
Yeah, I'm not talking everyone is not going to
be a high earner.
Yeah, everyone's not going to be high income earners. So I want to be clear when I say that. I'm not one of those people. Oh, everyone's gonna write it out, and then you gotta. If you share this post, you gotta make a made. No. That's no.
I wish.
But I'm saying with what you have, though, you
gotta be a good steward.
Correct. So,
and that's the biblical principle.
So as long as the bills are paid, that's just such a low barrier, right? So, the thing I would say successful couples do, they sit down and they devise a plan so that, yes, the bills are paid, but then you start figuring out how to do a little bit more. Well, that's investing a little bit, figure out how to increase your income and stuff like that. So, as long as the bills are paid, that's money myth number 3. Number 4. Only one person should handle the finances. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times, one of two of you are going to be more money minded, and that's okay. That's okay. But that's the reason it really comes back to these money dates and having these conversations, because for me, I enjoy talking about this. I love talking about it, but I don't want it all to be on me, right? I want to talk about it so that I can get some of this off my mind, so that she can know when things are up, when things are down. That way, I'm sort of not like the big bad wolf, but oh, maybe we should do this. I'm like, I don't think that's really in the budget. Well, it was in the budget 2 months ago. That was 2 months ago. Things change. So
things ebb.
Yeah, definitely ebb and flow in this entrepreneurship world and things like that. So I think that, one person should not be just totally in charge of the finances, and the other person is just living freely and be like, oh yeah, you have $20 to spend this time, or you have to call them every time you want to make a purchase. It's just a lot of stress. And again, I go back to this specifically, that financial infidelity. It really leads to that when one person is not held accountable and they just get to do what they want, and the other person never looks, and they're like, well, she's never going to look at this, so I'm going to buy this or do that. She'll never look. So for me, like that's a big one.
We've been guilty of that.
You've been guilty of.
I have. I'd rather just not know.
Correct. I've always tried to involve Christina with this because again, for me,
it is
like, it's just a lot of stress though. Like it's a lot of like it's a burden. For me,
I think it's more stressful for him to tell me no or to rethink things that we've decided upon.
Yeah, because for me, being a man taking care of my family of 5, like that's a lot of pressure. So I want someone to talk to. So I don't want all this to be on me, right? Because I'm not one of, I don't believe like, oh, just because I'm the only one that works outside of the home, this is my money. No, this is our money. We got to figure this thing out together, right? Like I can lead the way, but I need you involved because again, she may be seeing or thinking of stuff that I'm not thinking of. And I believe, honestly, like this right here, definitely, I think this is just rich traditional history from back in the day when the man took care of the bills, the woman stayed at home, and that was it. So I definitely think that's sort of how that started.
Isn't that what we do?
So you just stay at home, you don't take care of anything?
No, I do, but I don't think any woman has ever not taken care of things. I mean, maybe there was a primitive time when, I don't know, Proverbs 31 woman, her hands were calloused. So that means she did something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was working, she was raising the children, she was, I don't know. So yeah, but yeah, it just comes from an old fashioned, one person carries the burden, the other one just submissively follows along without a clue. And that's not how it should be. We should at least have a clue. We should have opinions and be able to pray about our finances together and make decisions together. Correct. About things. Not have you be the big bad wolf. Because that's one thing, if you haven't watched previous episodes, that is Sherman's one weakness is the thing that bothered him most when we were in debt was telling me no to things, which didn't bother me. It never bothered me, but it used to bother him a lot. So.
Yeah, for sure. What is that?
An alarm.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to stop.
Well, I'll let you get it while I start this next one.
I don't even know what alarm it is.
So, let's talk about money myth number 5. Money myth number 5 is we'll figure it out when we make more. Now, this is similar to 1, but it's a little different because number 1 was like making more money will solve all the problems. But now number 5 is, well, we'll figure it out. So we're not going to even deal with it, right? And not dealing with it at all is just a huge issue. So money myth number 5, I was saying it's similar to 1. So number 5 is we'll figure it out when we make more, right? That's similar to 1 because number 1 was more money will sort of make everything better. So slightly different, but I was saying for me, when you say number 5, oh, we'll figure it out when we make more money, you just don't need to deal with it at all. You're like, hey, I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, you just ignore the problem. One day in whenever, we'll deal with it when we make more money. So for me, I believe that, again, this one sort of started with just couples not wanting to really deal with the issue at hand. So it's easy to just say, well, we'll deal with it when we have more.
Ignorance is bliss. Or just ignoring things is bliss.
Correct. That's the thing. Ignorance is bliss. You don't make enough. Because for me, just the way I'm wired, if I don't make enough, I'm going to figure out ways to make it enough. Right?
What side hustles we could do, what jobs we can pick up.
Correct.
We've always done that.
Correct.
We've always tried to work more than one.
Correct. We're going to figure out what's next, like what's the next thing. And again, like it is sacrificial for everyone involved, whether that's the husband or the wife. Someone's going to have to sacrifice. Everyone's going to have to sacrifice somewhere to make this thing work. I was just looking at I just posted on social media, I think today, the other day, our picture that we took at Ring Solutions of us doing the debt-free scream. Someone caught the picture of us actually screaming. And that picture actually just makes me so emotional in a great way because I remember.
Cry?
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Oh, he never cries.
it just makes me emotional because all of the work and sacrifice and, all of the years of self-doubt and stuff for me were like, they were just erased because
I didn't even think about self-doubt that you could even do it. See, I've always believed in you so much. And I'm like, you got this, babe.
Yeah. So like that picture, so like that whole we'll figure it out
Think about that.
when we have more money is it's just a horrible one. I sort of relate it to like, what if we would have, I mean, we did this for a little while. I did this for a little while. I would say, well, I'll figure out those student loans when I make more money.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll make more money and then things will get allocated and then we just sort of continually kick that can down the road. And for us, it was about a total of 15 years. We let interest grow and, such a headache. It really makes me upset when I think about it. But it's over. It's water under the bridge. It's okay. We paid it off. Paid off $203,000 in 27 months. Actually, a little bit less than that. But I couldn't bring myself to make the big payment at the end, so I sat on it for a couple months. But that's neither here nor there. So, we'll figure it out when we make more money. I think that one way that you deal with that, like successful couples that are on the same page, it's a simple way you deal with it. You figure it out right now.
But what if you can't do anything with that?
Well, I do not believe that you can.
What if you're like down to zero money and then you have the student loan, but I have zero money left?
Okay, so you know me well enough. What do you think my answer to that would be?
Make more money. Get a job. Another one. And another one. And another one.
Okay. Again, it's sacrificial.
Guys, I've always had multiple jobs. I think
like it's sacrificial.
our whole marriage.
Like there has to be sacrifice.
I know.
And like yes, it is uncomfortable.
And yes, you do lose sleep.
And yes,
there
you
is
may have
such
to
thing.
stay
When
up at
people
night.
say, "Oh, I never slept," like no, that's a thing. Like people sleep maybe 1 or 2 hours. Not healthy, but people do what they got to do. We did what we had to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people do what they have to do.
Especially nowadays with remote working and stuff like that. It's possible.
So if you're listening, like I challenge you guys, like figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Figure it out. You can reach out to us.
You have talent somewhere that can be used to make money.
Correct.
We've met so many talented people and didn't even know it.
Again, I keep emphasizing it's sacrificial, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice time, sleep, at least for a season. It's not forever.
No.
For the most part. Like it's not forever.
Hopefully.
No, it's definitely not forever. But
what if you love it?
But
you just keep doing it.
It's great. Yeah. But like, it's not forever, but it's going to be I want to see Ramsey Solution. They've done a couple of studies and they figured out most people that, get serious about their debt, regardless of the number, it usually takes them about 28 months or something like that, 29 months. Again, when we did our math, we were on the assumption it's going to take about 5 years.
Yeah.
But like they talk about, you find a way when you get laser focused on that debt, you just start finding ways. You may find a quarter on the ground and put it in your bank account and pay 25% extra on that debt. Like you're just going to find a way.
Right.
So anyone listening to this that has some debt and you want to get out of it, just get laser focused on it and it is going to change. You can become debt free and start building wealth. And again, you can apply that to your retirement too. Let's say you have no debt, but you don't have a lot of retirement.
Right.
Well,
or savings.
Or savings, correct.
Yeah.
You have to get hyper focused on that goal when it comes to your money so that you can get to where you want to be, right? Because I love being where we are right now. Again, like you said, there's still ebbs and flows, right? It doesn't feel great all the time. At times, even me, I'm like, I wish I made more money. But like everyone says that, right?
Right.
But we're trying to do a phenomenal job of stewarding everything that we have right now. And that's really what we,
and we don't always get it right, but for the most part we do.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we don't always get it
We
right.
have a lot of people we consult with before making financial decisions.
Yeah. I mean, I try to find the people that have gone before me, people that
we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Correct. Find people that I look up to financially and I have them on speed dial. When I have a money question, I call one person in particular, but there's a few I can call and they're going to sort of the gathering of the minds and I'm going to make a decision based on what I've learned from them because why would I try to, like Christina said, why would I try to reinvent the wheel if I don't have to? So those 5 money minutes, guys, I want you to talk about that with your spouse, with your partner, because those can change. And if you're single, deal with these questions internally and get them done, right? Get them done. because I really do believe this can change everything that you're doing when it comes to your money. You have anything you want to add?
I just have a question.
Yes.
To you guys, which of these have been living rent-free in your marriage? So let's go over them.
Ooh.
The first one, more money, more problems.
Yep. More money will solve the problems. That's number one. Yep.
We'll solve the problem.
More money. So which one of these have been living rent-free in your marriage?
In your marriage.
So more money will solve the problems. 2, talking about money will kill the romance. 3, as long as the bills are paid, we're happy. 4 was one person handles all the money. And 5 was, we'll figure it out when we make more money, right?
Don't worry about it later.
So yeah, we just worry about it later when we make more money. So which one of these have been living rent-free in your marriage? Which one, right? Comment.
Or 2 or 3.
Send us the answer.
For us, it was all 5.
Whatever you want. Because I really do believe us talking about, again, guys, like we've only been doing this for we sort of brought it back out 6-7 weeks ago. And some of the conversation and messages that we're getting already
so good
makes it like worth it. Like it really does. Like it really does. Because I know that.
But this is not my thing at all.
Yeah.
But when I get these messages and the encouragement, and then I can walk some things out with some people, that makes it worth it to me.
So that's good. So guys, we're going to end it right there. So, as always, tell a friend to tune in, and we will chat with you guys next week. All right.